As project managers, we bear the weight of the project on our shoulders. Whether the project succeeds or whether the project fails, everyone looks towards the project manager to ask what happened. That is the burden that we bear as managing projects or the project's lead, right? But what if I can tell you that there's better ways and things that you can actually look out for when managing those projects? This way you ensure that your projects do succeed, or at least remove some of the barriers that allows projects to fail. That is why I'm providing you with 3 reasons why project managers fail at managing projects. I'm hoping that this video can help you better improve how you manage projects and truly master the art of project management. Because the truth is, a successful initiative or a successful project is only going to propel the company you work for to new heights, and it's your job as a project manager to succeed. So before we get started, please, if you like this video, please like the video, of course, and please also share with anyone who you think might benefit from this video. And also, I'm going to be putting out content every single Friday. So if you are looking for more project management content such as this, please subscribe to the channel, as I will be putting out more content every single week. But with that said, and without further ado, let's jump right into the video. I've noticed that a lot of project managers are actually thrown into the role, whether unexpectedly, with no certifications, and oftentimes we mistake what that looks like. What is true project management, right? And that can also be very hard when you never really had a strong foundation for what it is that you need to be aware of when managing projects. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to share you 3 reasons why project managers fail at managing projects, and hopefully those reasons can help you improve how you tackle projects moving forward. So let's start with reason number 1, and that is poor stakeholder communication. Look, a stakeholder will either make or break your project, and that is not an understatement. The truth is that a stakeholder can drastically impact the performance of your project, and I'm going to show you why that is. Number 1, they can introduce scope creep. Scope creep is where there are more things added to the scope, which either stretches the budget or lengthens the timeline. Scope creep is something that you have to address because it will impact your project negatively, and without communicating that effectively to your stakeholders, there may be a misalignment in what's supposed to happen and what is expected versus what can actually happen on the project. So have those conversations about scope creep. Then there's quality assurance, right? Well, there's approvals, whether it is reviews, those things that come from your client all need to happen. And if your client or stakeholder is away on vacation or not available or not aware that they need to actually participate in reviewing some stuff, this can delay your project even further. Another way a poor stakeholder might actually impact your project is through ghosting. They might just disappear from you. You might not hear from them, you might not be able to talk to them, you might not be able to get their feedback, but once the project is done, it's like, hey, I'm here, what's going on? Did you get what I asked done? And it may not align with exactly what they're looking for because they wasn't participating in the process of developing whatever work initiative or tool that you might be providing for them. There's some ways that the stakeholder might impact the project, right? But you, my friend, should be ahead of the curve because of this video. And here are some tips that you can actually use to address some of these. And the first and the biggest one is set the expectation from the very start of the project. And I'm going to show you what areas you should actually do that in. Number 1, set the scope. Make sure that the scope is clearly defined, and make sure that you articulate what is in the scope and what is not within the scope, and then make sure you articulate that to the client or your stakeholders. Ensuring that everyone is on page, so if there is a change in scope that is needed, you can always refer back to that document and say, hey, this wasn't a part of the original scope, but if you would like to add it, then this is what that looks like. Next is you make sure that you schedule your review periods with your client. So tell the client, hey, by October 25th, we're going to need you to review X, Y, and Z. Are you available that time? And you plan that out at the beginning of the project. This way you can find out whether they're going on vacation, whether they have a big work initiative that they have to focus on, and you may or may not have their time, but you'll find that out very early and you can adjust your dates accordingly to ensure that they participate in any reviews or approvals that you may need. And then my final tip for you is make sure that you include the stakeholder in the project along the way. keeping them informed as to what's going on, maybe do a weekly check-in with them, but just have conversations on a weekly or daily basis, whatever is comfortable for your client and your time. Let them know, hey, we're at this stage with the budget, here we are with the timeline, here's what's going on with the team, and this is what we're working through. Now, let's go to reason number 2, and that is no communication plan. Communication is the head cornerstone for any successful project. There's no successful project without proper communication. So what you're gonna see is that you're gonna have poor information sharing. No one is gonna know exactly what's going on, and the same information shared with one team member may not actually exist with the other, and it may impact what they're doing or what they're working on. Then there's lack of proper documentation for information. So there may be information living somewhere, but no one knows where it is, or it hasn't been documented. So when it re-arises in about 2 weeks, your team is like, I know there was something that we are forgetting, but I just don't know where it is. Have a stable document that you can document that information. Then you'll also see that your team feels very disorganized. So the team is not really meshing together, working together. They're not really accomplishing tasks effectively. So with these examples of what you're gonna see when you are lacking in communication for your projects, it is up to you as a project manager to address that, come up with a proper communication plan, and implement it not only with your team, but with your stakeholders. Now that we got poor communication out of the way, now let's talk about reason number 3. And that is, you as a project manager are trying to do it all on your own. And the reality is, it is not all on you. I know it may feel like the project success literally lies on your shoulders, but the truth is that you have to tap in with your team to ensure a successful project. And if you're trying to do it all by yourself, you're going to come across a lot of these common issues that most project managers face. You're going to be drowning in a sea of things that may not necessarily be needed by you. You, my friend, need to learn to delegate. But if you're finding yourself drowning in work, chances are you may have been taking on a little bit too much. Then, when necessary, schedule time with your team to do proper brainstorming and coming up with different ideas on how to improve the project or how to move things forward. And if that is just not in the cards when you're actually moving the project forward, you can also schedule a meeting at the end of the project called a lessons learned meeting, where you and the team can actually speak through some of the things that you learned throughout the project, and either wins, losses, or just anything that you want to document for other projects moving forward. Another tip for you is ensure that you're involving your team and the stakeholder in planning the project. When you're sitting down to write that project plan, it shouldn't just be your input. When you're putting that project plan together, you need to sit down with the stakeholder and your team to decide on what needs to be included in certain key information. But don't do it by yourself. And then finally, be that project manager that allows candid conversation. Allow your team to really speak plain with you, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or whether it's indifference. You want to get their true feelings on how they think the project is doing or their part as a whole. And making these slight changes will help you rely on your team, and therefore everything for the project is just not on your shoulders only. You and your team can work together and ensure the project succeeds. So that are the 3 reasons why project managers fail at managing projects. Now that you know these 3 reasons, get out there and implement some of these strategies into your project management so that you can have better project success. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like the video. Please share with anyone that you think might benefit from the video as well. And I appreciate you sticking it through to the end. If you have any questions related to project management, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to either answer them, or I might create a video just discussing those questions that you may have. But with that said, thank you for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching this to the end. I look forward to continuing to make videos such as this, and I truly look forward to catching you in the next video.